Let me tell you a contemporary story. A story about radical hospitality in action. Several years ago, in fact, some 20 years ago, Jonathan and I had the opportunity to visit the Holy Land. Now, each of us had been there before, leading pilgrimage groups. But we had never been there together, just the two of us. At that time, we lived back in Chicago, and there was a member of our parish back there who had developed a pen pal relationship with a Palestinian woman who lived near Bethlehem. And this woman's name was Muna, and she worked for the Franciscan sisters at the Church of the Holy Nativity. And when our friend learned that we were going to Bethlehem, she said, "Oh, I would like to send a gift along with you to Muna. Would that be okay?" And we said, of course, we'd be delighted to do that. And off we went. Now, the trip to Bethlehem was quite interesting. In fact, quite challenging. And the challenge was this, that Muna and the Franciscan sisters in Bethlehem spoke no English. And we speak almost no Palestinian Arabic, except for shukran, thank you, afwan, you're welcome, and ma'i salamis, which is sort of peace be with you. So the sisters arranged for one of the Jerusalem sisters, who I simply remember as Mari, to come to Bethlehem and to serve as an interpreter. And she was a godsend. Now, we all met at the convent at Bethlehem, and we engaged in interpreted conversation, which in itself is very interesting. You know, you say a little phrase and you pause so the interpreter can put it into the next language, and it gets confusing at times. But there were the usual introductions and the polite commands and the getting to know you conversations, and we presented the gift to Muna, and then Muna said something to Sister Marie, who interpreted for us. Muna would like to invite the two of you to her home down the road in the shepherd's field. Do you have time? Well, we decided on the spot we would make time. And we all piled into this wonderful Arab cheroot, an old limousine that held at least 8 or more people, and down the hill we went lickety-split in typical Middle East tradition. And in minutes, we were at Muna's home. And everyone was waiting out front for us. We were guests, but they treated us like royalty. Invited inside, Muna's husband proudly showed us around their new home, a home that was under construction a little at a time as money and time would allow. Their oldest son was an olive wood carver, and he took us out back to see his workshop. And yes, we bought several nativity sets from him. They were gorgeous. We still use them. And their youngest son, he was about to go off to college with a full scholarship, and we congratulated him. What an accomplishment. And we were served a wonderful lunch, trays that were piled high with fresh fruits and nuts, and a great drink, a tamarind-type juice that was just incredible. The hospitality was absolutely wonderful. But we also knew in our hearts that they really could not afford to do this. Muna earned limited wages working for the sisters. Her husband was unemployed, and the wood carving business was down. So we asked Sister Marie, could we make a gift to the family? And she quickly said to us in English, which was only the two of us, and she knew English. She said to us in English, "Oh no, you can't do that. You are guests here. You are guests." But then, thinking a moment, she said to us in English, "But you could make a small gift to their son who is leaving for college." And we did just that. And immediately there was a lot of, no, 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 no. But Sister again took over and spoke to the family in Palestinian. She was the go-between. And we assume she told them to accept the gift. After all, it's the custom in America. And quickly, everything quieted down, and there were a lot of shukran, shukran, shukran. Suddenly, the Sharut showed up. And Jonathan stood up and said, "Oh, the taxi's here. We've got to go." And Muna panicked. Off to the kitchen she dashed, and pots and pans were rattling. And Sister, once again, came over to us and in English told us, "Sit down." We had to wait for the Arab coffee to be served. It's the custom. And in it came some of the best coffee I think I have ever had, along with cookies and pastries and all sorts of sweet things. And an hour later, the Sharut still waiting, but coffee served. Jonathan asked, "Now can we leave?" And Sister responded in English, smiling, "Now you must leave." It's the custom. It's the custom. That is radical hospitality indeed. Whoever has an ear to hear, let them listen to what the Spirit is saying to the church. Amen.